Shalom. I want to start with giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Waharukar Kudash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us the scriptures, among other things, and salutations to Yakim across the earth for doing this work in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. So basically, I just want to do a short video on this video. This is a video, I'm going to post it on my channel after this. This is you see this so-called white female, she's telling a story, and the background story is, that they killed her husband. She's let me start in the beginning. So she's living in South Africa, where they had apartheid. And another thing, apartheid is a Dutch word, so you already knows that the Dutch started this, they started that shit. And also the language that they talk there, they call it Afrikaans, but it's all Dutch, And like I keep saying, and I have to repeat myself again, these Dutch are very special people. So, to the spirit, I know that the Most I got something special for them. And I already saw it, because this is the holiday season and they've been going to all kinds of hell, They've been going to all kinds of hell, these people. So, yeah. But yeah, the thing is, so she's talking about, so she's living in South Africa, and basically, these white people, so-called white people, they talking about that they suffering there, and they also claim the land. But that's what they do, They let me jump real quick to the book of Micah, because that's what they do. They go to somebody else's country, take it, name it after themselves, like the continent Africa comes from Scipius Africanus, which was a Roman general, if I'm correct, So he named it after himself. So that shows you already. Let me see. So, book of Micah, chapter 2, and straight to the point, chapter 2 and 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. So that's what they do. They go to a country, call it their country, put their rules there, start murdering everybody, raping the females, That's what they do, killing off the animals, So they were doing that, They're still doing that. And now's the fun part, then you had that puppet Nelson Mandela there, so-called apartheid was done away with, it stopped officially by law in 1919, but as always, and this, we know that the Dutch people started it. And there are also a lot of people from, I think also a lot of people from New Zealand and stuff, Edomites from there went to living to South Africa. So they used to have this apartheid, which means segregation, So the people used to live separated from themselves, from each other, And the thing is, the majority of them, the people that lives in South Africa, the majority of them is Hamites, but you also have Jakes among there, Don't forget, our people are everywhere. But the thing is, they had all these harsh rules, They were doing all these things, And even got old movies that shows you, when the children, you had school children demonstrating, they went out to demonstrate for equal rights, because they had no rights over there. Police were just shooting children and stuff, Those were the things that they were doing there. Didn't give a fuck. Take females, rape them, and all that, And now she's sad. She's talking about the world, the newspapers not talking about things that happening there. She's locked up in the house. She's not safe, and those were the things that they were doing. You had police back in the days there, and it's not even that long ago. Don't forget, 1919, 1990. That's the year when the apartheid was done away by law. So that didn't mean that it already stopped. The police, those people, they were living in these townships. They still, majority of them still living in those townships. When they have this, yeah, cabins basically, and you cannot really call it houses. Made from cardboard and all that stuff. Plastic and all that. So they live in there. You had police coming in, just enter into the house, grab some children, or take a female, this and that, or a dude, and just make up a false, I call it a false story about he did this and that, and then just blatantly murdering people. Those are the things that they were doing. So what happened now? So there were six probably Hamites, so-called black people. They enter into the house of this female and her husband. They tie the husband up, and forced him to watch her being raped by these six dudes. And then they kill the man, which is funny, ironic. You can also call it ironic because those are the things that they used to do to our people. Just go watch that series Roots. It shows you as soon as a Jake, a slave, let's say a slave, he fancy a female slave, and he asked the plantation owner to marry her. What they often used to do, the night before that slave was allowed to marry that female, maybe he invites some friends. They rape that woman so she can barely walk on the day that she's about to marry that dude. And a lot of times, don't forget, they also used to make their babies. So a lot of times this female was also pregnant of the slave owner. You also had that. Or even if you already had your wife and your children, basically you had your family, the slave owner or the overseer just grab your wife and rape her. And if you say something, they shoot her. They shoot you. Basically that also shows you in that what's the name of the movie, man? That talks about Nate Turner. Nat Turner. Man, I forgot the name of the movie, man. Nah. Maybe I'll come back later on it, then I drop it I call it in the comment, as a comment. But anyway, so now, they are the victim, and she's also sad. And don't forget, like I said, in 1990, the apartheid was done away with by law. So that means, let's say I think she's mid 30. So her parents were enjoying the white privilege. In that time, her parents, for sure, had a great time for the majority of that time during the apartheid, if her parents were there. And now she's talking about the country is going to shit and this and that. What do you think that what was in the mind of those people there in South Africa? You know, they see the so-called white man coming in there with guns and shit, starting shooting you down, this and that, putting these rules on you, push you to the basically to the side of the country where there is nothing. Make you living in townships. You be the servant unto them. And they do whatever they want with you. But then change chase, then they had a different, then they, after Mandela, for a while, because Mandela was just a puppet, just a show, because basically when he was there and they stopped the apartheid, well, actually nothing changed. But then later they had another president, and he started with shoot the boer. Basically mean shoot the farmer. And then they start, then these Hamites start, they start to stand up for themselves. Basically, and what they did, I'm not saying it's a good thing, because there are laws about that concerning if you grab a female, you ain't supposed to share a female to begin with, rape her with six men, those are things that you ain't supposed to do. But and also if a female has a husband, you ain't supposed to touch her, not even look at her. So they are going off. But those were the things that they were doing with our people also. Those were the things that they were doing with those people over there also. And now they be like, yeah, they scared. And a lot of them, they wanted to flee from South Africa. They asked asylum to Holland, but a lot of time Holland's not granting them asylum. I think she also did that. And yeah, I'm gonna put the clip later in on my channel. But it's funny, because yeah, had me thinking like, yeah, okay, so now you're all You are all, how you say that, sad, and you want everybody to feel sorry for you. But what are you feeling sorry? Were you feeling sorry for all the shit that they do, that your people were doing to those people over there? Because she for sure, as a child, saw it. She saw it, and she grew up. As she grew up there, she grew up with this white privilege over there. But now you want everybody, they need to share this, and tell how sad it is and how horrible. But your people been doing that. The people have been doing that. It's the book of Obadiah, chapter 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Yeah, and this is all your heathens gonna get it. But first and foremost, your Edomites, you so-called white people, you are our number one enemy of the children of Israel, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and the so-called Indianos. You are the number one enemy. So of course you're gonna, you're gonna be, after hey, all your heathens are going into slavery, but after 1,000 years, the so-called white people gonna be exterminated. Vanish off the planet. None of y'all is gonna be to exist, man. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 10. What nation had not a part in her kingdom and gotten off her spoils? So yeah, just name one that didn't, who is not in a good position. While from the moment that we were put down, when the Mosai basically took away the hedge from us, all y'all heathens profited from us. And what the Mosai does, he can use, he used nations as his whooping stick. That's what he does. The so-called white people, yeah, they were basically the whooping stick for all the heathens. But now, the things you see the curses being switched, being lifted up. You see that these devils starting to suffer too. They suffer a lot. All those countries that they love to go on vacation, they suffer a lot over there. Let me see. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful to see, man. Mm, it's beautiful to see how your people are suffering. It's really beautiful. Let me see. So this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 7. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So don't forget all the things that you have done to us, it's going to be done to you. Matter of fact, let me jump to the book of Revelations. This is the book of Revelations. Let me see. Oh. The book of Revelations, chapter 13. Chapter 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So that's your future of all your heathens. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So what have y'all people been doing, you so-called white people? Rape, rob, murder all over the globe. So now it's coming back for you, but you feel so sorry. Oh, you have to lock yourself up in your house. Those were the people, they also locked themselves in the house. They had a curfew. They were not allowed to be outside on a certain time, They were inside. But could they lock their houses like you lock your houses? No. Their houses were easily broken up, and the police were just going into a township and do whatever, just doing whatever they feel like. Those were the things that they were doing. And now the world has to feel sorry for you. No, man. I found it great, man. This is great news. This is great news to my ears. I really enjoy hearing that, Really, man. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 17, verse 13. Concerning that the Most High can use a nation as a whooping stick, Now the whooping stick for your so-called white people down there in South Africa are the Hamites. You know? So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 17, verse 13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him. Cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. And who is the wicked? So-called white people. Let me jump to the book of Job. This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So who's ruling this planet right now? Yes, the so-called white people. So that shows you who the wicked are. So back to the book of Psalms, chapter 17, verse 13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. From men, which are thy hand. Okay, from men. So that already shows you. O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life. Yeah, the fatness of the earth. It goes back to the blessing that Esau had from Isaac. Which have their portion in his life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of the substance to the babes. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, I just wanted to do a short video, not too long, but yeah, it's beautiful to see this female suffering. And I know a lot of them are suffering. They're also talking about poverty and this and that, or the country going backwards. Well, you ain't supposed to be there to begin with, You ain't supposed to be there to begin with, So yeah. So yeah, with that I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Waharuka Kudash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to all your Akim across the earth doing this work in sincerity and in truth. So with that I'm going to say Shalom.